Hi, I'm Josh Murphy from Unparalleled Productions, and this is Free Time. Modern freeheel skiing has made huge strides in recent years and seen the emergence of an exciting new style, with advances in equipment technology and strong rider influences. As the leading force documenting progressive freeheel skiing, we've combined exciting footage from our last 3 films with tips from the pros and instruction for the basic beginner and aggressive expert to give you the tools to hone your skills in winter's fastest growing sport. Free Time covers the basics every skier needs to succeed and focuses on modern techniques for carving, powder, steeps, moguls, free skiing, and much more. Join Unparalleled Productions and the world's top freeheel skiers and make the most of your free time.
Y'all wanna come party with me?
Alright, let's get started. The most important part of learning or improving your freeheel skiing starts from the ground up. Modern boot, binding, and ski technology has made learning freeheel skiing easier than ever and allows anyone with a background on alpine skis or a snowboard to make an easy transition. Once you understand the basics, the rest will come more easily. Although freeheel skiing looks and feels different than alpine skiing and snowboarding, it shares basic attributes with many sports, and brushing up on the basics can always help. In the basics, we'll cover the fundamentals of the telemark stance, the balance, freeheel specific fore and aft weighting, hand and body position while skiing, and the lead change that is the root of the telemark turn. After covering these, we'll work on the pole plant. It's the sum of the parts that makes it work, and we'll touch on all of them. First, you'll need to find a strong balanced position with your feet about shoulder width apart and with your uphill ski trailing the downhill ski. Your uphill or trailing ski should be just behind your lead foot and your weight should be centered over both feet. The lead boot should be flat on the ski while the heel of the trailing boot is raised off the ski, flexing over the toe of the boot. Pressure the entire lead foot and the ball of the trailing foot. Keep your knees bent in an athletic stance, but you don't need to sink too low. A higher body position allows you to absorb the terrain and lets you use your skeletal strength rather than burning out your legs. Think of a jockey or a ballerina. With an athletic stance, you're prepared for anything. Balance is fundamental to freeheel skiing, as unlike snowboarding or alpine skiing, your heel is not attached to the ski. The freeheel-specific position and form is what gives the telemark turn its unique feeling, but you have to be centered and balanced, side to side as well as forward and backwards, or you risk pitching forward and going over the handlebars. The idea is to weight both skis equally, but fore and aft weighting is ultimately specific to the terrain and snow conditions, and we'll get into that later. Once you find your balanced position, with your trailing knee behind your lead knee and your lead knee bent forward over your toes, try rolling both knees uphill. This puts your skis on edge and is the key to holding an edge throughout the freeheel turn. Remember, the idea is to carve with the inside edge of the downhill ski and the outside edge of the uphill ski. Apart from good balance and a strong stance, The most important body position to focus on is your hands and shoulders. Keeping your hands in front of you and rotating your upper body down the hill is the single most important body position you can work on. Keep your elbows out and your hands at chest height, like you're hugging a barrel. Imagine a target at the bottom of the hill, and no matter which direction your skis are pointed, your eyes, hands, and shoulders should be aimed at the target. A quiet and counter-rotated upper body posture immediately puts your body in the right position and sets you up to flow through the turn. It's your shoulders that do the work, and if they're doing their job, your ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders will follow suit. Another significant difference between alpine skiing and freeheel skiing is that rather than just moving side to side from edge to edge, you also have to change your lead, or downhill foot, depending on the direction of the turn. In making a left turn, the right, or downhill ski leads, while the left, or uphill ski trails. The lead change transition is the most difficult aspect of stance to learn, but it's essential to linking turns once you feel comfortable with the basic stance, balance, and upper body positioning we just worked on. Lead change is crucial to making a proper freeheel turn, as once the rear ski is trailing, the front knee can begin to roll into the hill, putting both skis on edge. Start by working on your lead change while standing in place. Shuffle both skis back and forth at first, then try to shift leads and engage your edge by rolling your knees into the hill. Once you get a feel for this in the flats, try it on a gradual pitch. Make sure you can shuffle in a fluid motion without pausing between lead changes. The constant motion and regular cadence will carry you down the fall line. Once you have a firm grasp of the basics, you can try some more difficult weight transfers. Work on rolling your weight from the tip of the lead ski to the tail with a progressive, fluid weight distribution. Remember to use both edges and think of pushing down on the big toe of the lead foot and the little toe of the trailing foot. After you get a feeling for this, you can work on pole plants. But don't forget, hands downhill and reach ahead. Pole planting is one of the biggest barriers for beginning skiers. Not only are you concentrating on your lower and upper body positions, but now you've got to find a rhythm for moving two poles around. Think of your poles as antennae that constantly send your upper body signals of what the terrain is doing. Pole planting sets the pace for the turns that follow and keeps the upper body in position. We'll touch on upper body and pole planting in all of the following sections of the film, but for now, think about reaching ahead and planting your pole towards the end of your lead ski. Reach with your downhill pole and plant it firmly in the snow. Planting your pole should be done with a strong wrist movement only. The rest of your arm stays in position. After planting your pole, keep reaching forward. Keep your hands tight, about shoulder width apart, like you're steering the wheel of a bus. Never drop your hands or swing your arms when pole planting, as dropping your hands will set off a chain reaction of bad body position. The idea is to keep your hands at the bottom of the peripheral vision so you always know where they are. This way, you're always in the driver's seat. Think about the basics we just covered and check out the similarities with all of these riders. But don't miss the subtle style differences unique to each skier. The individual style of the telemark turn is what makes freeheel skiing so exciting, but it all starts from the ground up. Now let's put it all together. With the proper stance and balance, equal weighting on fore and aft ski, and downhill hand position, linking turns across the fall line should flow easily. By looking ahead and establishing a rhythm from edge to edge with lead change from front to back foot, you can carve your way down any slope.
Hi, this is Mike Abarno. My tip for making powerful turn transitions is to drive your trailing ski forward to initiate the turn rather than dropping the lead ski back. This allows your transitions to be more dynamic and your skiing more aggressive and fluid. It initiates the next turn and eliminates the pause in between turns.
Oh baby, carving. The single most exciting feeling in freeheel skiing is the carve. With one ski back and both skis edging, the sensation is nirvana. The freeheel form provides an amazing feeling for the snow, and the G-forces of the turn are enough to capture the imagination of most riders. There's an amazing flow to the carve, and to feel it, all you have to do is take the basics we covered and commit to the turn. The basics of carving are edge control, upper body rotation, hand position, and weighting, all with a stronger emphasis than before. Get into a strong stance and roll the skis on edge by pushing your knees forward and into the hill. Think of progressively engaging your edge as you sink into the turn. The deeper you are into the turn, the more your skis should roll into the hill. This is where you have to commit. Remember to keep your hands in front of you and your shoulders down the hill. Reach for each pole plant and drive your edges into the hill. To carve, you need to create a constant and progressively stronger edge control. If you unwind your upper body and drop your edges, get ready to slide. As the force of the turn increases, drive your hands down the hill and you'll be riding the wave. It's the constant and progressive push on the inside downhill edge of the lead ski and the outside uphill edge of the trailing ski that carves the turn. Think about your skis on the snow, but don't forget, the upper body drives the bus. Looking ahead and visualizing your line keeps you moving in a fluid motion down the hill and keeps you in the carve zone. With eyes up and forward, you can use the whole hill, avoid obstacles, and enjoy watching the slope flow by. The most important skill needed to keep the ski carving is weighting. Short and long turns alike are weighted a bit differently, but each begins by rolling the skis on edge at the tip of the lead ski and moving the pressure to the tail as you sink into the turn. Try to feel the pressure on your lead foot move from the tip of your toes to the back of your heel. It's the timing of this weight transfer that bends the ski into an arc and lets the shape of the ski do the work. Carving short turns requires a quick and fluid roll from the tip of the ski to the tail, while long turns require a building pressure that continues throughout the turn. Imagine compressing a spring with your hand. In a quick turn, you push down quickly, and the spring jumps back quickly. In long turns, you progressively push the spring down and let the built-up pressure slowly spring back. Sinking and rolling into your turn too fast will blow the ski off edge and out of the turn. Committing to the edge too slowly or without enough edge pressure starts a side slip. Instead, drive with your knees, keep a strong, upright stance throughout the turn, and enjoy the ride.
Mark Sanders here, and here's a carving tip for you. Finish your turns. A cleanly exited turn makes a pop from the tail of your ski, creating an unweighted phase. In starting the next turn, use the unweighted phase to stand tall. Square your upper body down the hill and reach for that pole plant. Punch out a smooth and precise lead change, and now you're on your way to carving sweet, buttery arcs.
The nightmares of some riders and the passions of others are held on steep slopes. The very thought of sliding down some of these faces can make the knees shake. But how is it that some skiers make the steeps look easy? The secret lies in the basics. Solid edge control on the steeps is a must, and here again the upper body leads the way. While your initial thought may be to hesitate, constant motion down the fall line is your best attack. On steep terrain, the need for rotation of the upper body down the fall line is paramount. As with carving, if you roll your shoulders uphill, you lose your edge. Only here, the consequences of sliding are greater. Keeping your hands down the hill not only twists the hips and rolls the knees, but enables quick movement from turn to turn. Weighting and edging are modified for efficiency, and the carve is focused towards the back of the lead ski and the center of the uphill ski. Again, it's important that you are balanced fore and aft and that both edges are working. Engaging your edges happens quickly and ends when you unweight only long enough to bring the skis across the fall line and quickly engage them again. When your turn is done, switch leads by pushing off with both skis. As you become weightless, switch your lead, but you don't have to hop up and then turn. Push up and forward only long enough to unweight your skis and continue your momentum down the fall line. If you land with the skis down the fall line and complete the turn with a carve, you don't need to bring the skis all the way across the hill. Steeps are not a place to rush, but hesitation can make it difficult to move from edge to edge. Constant and rhythmic turns down the fall line with little upper body movement makes the steeps manageable. Pole plants are critical in the steeps as they focus your attention on the upper body and where and when the next turn will happen. They also pull your hands downhill and help time the off-weighting of the edges. Concentrate on reaching far forward and downhill of your lead ski, and your body should follow. Planting too close to your body puts your weight on your tails and makes it difficult to move from one edge to the other. Keep your hands low and don't double pull. Work on slopes that you're confident with before moving to the next level. Remember, the basics lead to mastery, but it's time and experience that enables you the confidence to ski steeper slopes.
Hey, I'm BJ Brewer. I think a good tip for tight, close turns is turn initiation, keeping a lot of power on your downhill ski and keeping your momentum from turn to turn solid.
Moguls and trees require many of the same skills, but at the root of them all is looking ahead and visualizing your line. Pole plants control the upper body, while absorption and fluid motion carry your momentum downhill. By using a carve or a check, you can control your speed no matter what's behind the next bump or tree.
Hey, I'm Squirrel, and my tips for your mogul skiing pleasure: you should keep your shoulders pointed straight down the hill, keep your paws out in front, and keep a nice quiet upper body. Don't forget to put plenty of weight on your back foot as well.
The most important aspect of skiing varied terrains like moguls and trees is your reliance on a mastery of the basics and your ability to choose and keep your line. Changes in terrain are just a few feet away, and if you haven't planned ahead, by looking ahead, you can only react to the turn in front of you. In the bumps, look for a lane with consistently spaced moguls that angle directly down the fall line. For trees, look for spaces that create lanes for your line and turns. In the trees, your line may meander across the fall line, but in the bumps, try to stay as close to it as possible. Pole plants again are critical. When making quick turns, you need to keep your upper body quiet and move swiftly from edge to edge. Concentrate on turning or checking on the back of the bumps rather than in the trough. Aiming to plant your pole on top of the mogul will make it easier not to get sucked in the ruts. Avoid double pole plants as they slow you down and break your rhythm from turn to turn. Stay light on your feet and don't edge too hard. You want to be free to shuffle your skis when changing your lead. Make sure to keep your weight centered and a bit back, but don't hang on the tails of your skis like you would when carving a long arc. Focus on streamlining your body position. Excess upper body movement and low turns will make your transition much slower. Keep a tight, upright stance and imagine running down stairs as quietly and quickly as possible. Think about absorbing each mogul or turn, and then use the force built up in your stance to extend and straighten between each turn. Speed control is crucial in these situations, and you have two options to curb your speed: the check and the carve. Checking is used in tight lines where you literally slap a quick edge on the back of a mogul, absorb and straighten while switching leads before checking the next bump. To put the brakes on or maneuver through more widely spaced bumps or trees, use the carve. Again, stay balanced and centered, but instead of just checking on the back of the bump, hold your edge longer to provide more speed control and angle across the fall line. Absorption and extension is still the key, but you'll have more time to react and edge than when checking. When carving or checking, always remember to look ahead and keep your hands in front. When you put it all together, no turn is too fast and no tree is too close. Freeheel skiing in powder is truly an amazing feeling. The freeheel stance puts you closer to the action, and with the lead ski carving and the back ski ruddering, the sensation is that of floating through cream. The fat ski revolution has completely changed freeheel powder skiing. Where tip dives and face plants were common, now freeheel skiers float to the top and lay down high-speed arcing turns. This new style has changed the line and form, but the basics remain the same. A strong upright stance with supple lower body movements allows you to absorb and react to the feeling of the snow. In perfect conditions, snow consistency is constant from top to bottom, but that's rarely the case. Good balance allows you to adapt to the changing conditions on the way down. Your weight should still be centered over both skis, but you need to pressure the back ski and focus on edging the lead ski from just under the boot to the tail of the ski. The centered balance point allows you to spread your weight and to use the sliding and edging surface of both skis to carve the turn. Even though you can cheat with the new equipment and lean way back, it's best to continue driving forward with the hands and the pole plants. Once set, you can relax and use the strength of your stance to surf down the hill. The depth of the snow will control some of your speed, allowing for a straighter line. As a result, looking ahead is crucial to prepare for varied conditions. No matter how perfect the snow, you'll still need to adjust your turn radius to the terrain and slope. Much like carving, you can make shorter powder turns by rolling your skis on edge quicker or building pressure throughout the turn for longer arcs. Concentrate on letting your skis flow to the surface before unweighting and switching leads. Don't overturn or snap your skis across the fall line, as you increase your chances of diving your rear tip, sending your body one way and your skis the other. Although you're in a relaxed and centered back position, be ready for changes in snow conditions. You may encounter crust, ice, or previously skied potato piles. And if you're not prepared with a good hand and upper body position, you'll have trouble adapting quickly. In crusty conditions, round out your line for more speed control and position your weight more forward to meet the terrain. If you find ice beneath the dust on crust, get your hands forward and downhill and put more effort into edge control. Roll the knees and bite with the edges. Speed control and adaptation to the terrain are the most important skills you can use in varied conditions. Again, having the fundamentals in your back pocket will allow you to react quickly to all situations. The best advice in powder is to relax and keep your momentum down the fall line.
Hi, I'm Molly Duma, and I have a hot tip of the day, and it is that ice is for cocktails.
This is where it all comes together. Everything we've worked on until now has to be stepped up a notch to increase your comfort and confidence at top speed. The biggest concern with increased speed is safety. The potential for a dangerous wreck increases exponentially as you go faster, and the margin for error is lessened. But, as many find the thrill of speed addictive, let's look back at the tenets of good form so we can safely move forward even faster. To ski with speed in any condition, you must maintain an aggressive posture as the forces working against you increase with each mile-per-hour gain. Vision and line choice are critical as reaction time decreases. More than ever, your skis become tools of acceleration and direction. Pressuring and edging them requires greater strength and concentration on body position. Your stance should be widened and your hands and weight pushed forward to pressure the entire length of the ski. Your timing and engaging your edges and finishing your turn is key. Maintaining your hand and shoulder position becomes increasingly difficult as the forces try to unwind you, but these same forces can be made to work for you when you have good body position. In this sense, speed is your friend, but remember, relax that relationship and the good times are over.
I am
I'm Sarah LeRae Clemenson. My telemark tip is to be aggressive, forward, fluid, downhill, and of course, as a lady, being sexy.
Carrying speed is not just for straight lining, and the basics will help you ski faster in all conditions. As you increase your speed, you must focus on looking farther down the fall line. Before reaching top speed, make sure you know what's around the corner and are alert enough to react to unforeseen hazards. Achieving this level of awareness comes with practice, and adding speed to your game is something to work up to. At speed, edging and weighting are accentuated and movements are made with subtle strength. When carving a normal turn, you can roll your knees to edge the ski. But at speed, the roll must come not only from the knees, but the hips as well. The stresses are too great to rely on your leg muscles alone. You have to use the strength of your skeletal structure to absorb the forces you're experiencing through the skis. Try driving the hip of the trailing ski forward down the fall line when you're carving a fast turn. This increases your downhill angulation and puts more pressure on the outside of the trailing ski. It also creates a stronger carve with both edges. It's critical that your weight be centered side to side and that you lengthen your turn radius. Roll your weight from the front of both skis to the back as you move through the turn. When you put all the basics together and turn up the heat, you'll find the speed you're used to doesn't seem so fast, and the new pace of your skiing feels much smoother.
Lorenzo Worcester here with a tip for speed. When you decide to let them run, find your balanced, stable position, shift your weight slightly back for variable conditions, look farther ahead and plan your run out. Then relax, point them, and don't celebrate too soon or you might be in for the high-speed header.
With the new equipment available today and a growing influence from alpine skiing and snowboarding, freeheel skiing is changing faster than ever. Gone are the days when linking a few turns together was a real achievement. Modern freeheel skiing knows no boundaries, and nowhere is this more visible than in free skiing. The idea of free skiing is using the entire mountain and incorporating all the skills you've worked on to approach the hill in a totally new way. In free skiing, skiers express themselves with their own unique style. Whether it's a low stance, quick turn through a steep couloir, or a 50-mile-an-hour pow turn down a wide open slope, it's all free skiing. There are a few common areas that all freeriders share, and each builds on the skills we've worked on. Let's get down to specifics. One of the most exciting aspects of free skiing is adding air to your skill set. And air can be hopping over a small rock or a cat track or trying a new freestyle move in the park. Whatever the level, catching air gives us a feeling of weightlessness and maybe the closest we get to flying without wings. Whether launching off cliffs, dropping in off cornices, or hitting park jumps and backcountry kickers, there are some common techniques that will help you safely enjoy adding air to your free skiing. To work on air, you need to start with the basics. At first, we'll work on leaving the ground and returning safely. And later, we'll incorporate style and tricks. Jumping and landing on freeheel skis is no different than on alpine skis, but you need to make sure you have a balanced body position when landing so you don't pitch forward. A jump with no trick is called a straight air, and learning this is as basic as practicing your lead change for carving. Without the basics, it's hard to go anywhere. Find a jump that's big enough to pop you up, but small enough that you feel comfortable crashing off it. Most terrain parks have small jumps with good landings, and they're safe places to work on takeoffs and landings. Start with slow takeoffs and increase your in-run speed as you feel more confident. Approach the jump with a strong, athletic stance, centered over both skis, with both feet flat on the skis. Focus on the lip of the jump and bend your knees. Just before leaving the lip, extend your legs and pop off the jump. The pop is nothing more than a slight hop. and you need only use the same force as you would to jump a few inches into the air from a standing position. This motion, combined with your forward momentum, puts you into the air smoothly. Concentrate on keeping your hands in front of you, and once you're in the air, look for your landing. When you're in the air, stay relatively tight with your knees tucked up slightly and as little excess motion as possible. This keeps you balanced and smooth in flight and keeps you focused on the landing. During the landing, try to touch down with your poles and skis at the same time. This is known as a 4-point landing and ensures that you're in the centered and strongest position possible. These few basic skills are the basis for all takeoffs and landings, and once you've got them covered, no matter what you do in the air, you'll always come back to them on the way down.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Scott Murray. I'm going to give you a quick tip on 4-point takeoffs, 4-point landings. If you're heading to the jump, get your hands in front of you. If you boost the jump, do whatever you want in the air. When you're coming down, make sure your hands and feet are making 4 points in the landing.
Before moving ahead, we should touch on a few safety issues. Whether you're jumping off tabletops or cliffs, scouting both the takeoffs and landings is critical. In the terrain park, you should take a few laps to inspect each jump. If it's a cliff or backcountry jump, it's a good idea to look at both the takeoff and landing and make sure it's clear of rocks and trees. Once you've scouted the jump and are comfortable, it's time to add some style. Before incorporating spinning, we'll work on stylistic modifications of the straight air. The safety grab is the easiest and simply involves reaching down and grabbing the ski just under your boot. You still want to sight the takeoff and maintain quiet body position while you add some style. The Japan air is similar to the safety grab, but you reach behind your legs and grab the opposite ski just behind your boot. The tail grab uses the same reach as the Japan air, but your hand grabs the tail of the right ski with the right hand, or the left ski with the left hand. In a tail grab, it's important to bend your knees and bring the tail up to your hands by pushing your tips down. The mute grab involves crossing your skis and reaching forward to grab in front of the toe on the top ski. For right-handers, cross the left ski over the right and grab with the right hand. Spins are the next step, and the best way to start learning is the 180. The 180 is easy, and all you need is a slight drop in the hill to learn it. Practice on a gradual hill, and as you approach the launch point, bend in the knees and pop. Swing your arms and shoulders in the direction of the spin, and most importantly, keep your focus on your landing. While the rest of your body turns, your eyes and head should still be looking at the landing. To land the 180, concentrate on pushing your weight through your heels, and remember the 4-point landing, even if you're landing switch. To work on switch freeheel turns, spin 180 and then slide into the freeheel stance. If you're looking over your right shoulder, drop your left knee and roll your knee towards it. As your edges engage, you'll feel the turn start, even though you're skiing switch. Roll out of the turn at first and practice one turn at a time before linking them. Finally, we'll work on the 360. The 360 follows the same progression as the 180, but you need a bit more pop and a bunch more commitment. Approach the jump as you would when doing a straight air. Bend the knees and pop. As you leave the lip, turn your head in the direction you want to spin. Lead with the head and the body will follow. Keep looking as you spin, and the shoulders, hands, and lower body will move with you. Spot your landing and your rotation will stop. Remember to stay tight in the air with your knees tucked up so you can lower your legs and absorb the landing. To speed your rotation, pull your arms in and tuck your legs up. You can slow your rotation off bigger jumps, but when learning off small jumps, you have to rotate faster.
Hey, this is Scott Shield. My tip for doing a 360 is, as you hit the lip of the jump, look over the shoulder in the direction you want to be spinning. Keep looking until you spot your landing. Once you've seen it, keep looking at it until you touch down.
All tricks, including inverted maneuvers like front flips and back flips, rely on the same basics of takeoff and landing. Sighting the takeoff and landing is key, and your form in the air is what brings you down safely. All of these should be practiced while wearing a helmet and always build upon the experience of the last jump. All mountain skiing involves taking everything we've learned and putting it to the test. Choosing a line or incorporating a trick is all part of using the mountain to continually challenge yourself. Your decisions should be based on experience and confidence, and never influenced by peer pressure or Kodak courage. Keep pushing your comfort level, but never ski beyond your ability. Remember, there are any number of ways to get down a hill, and as you progress, your vision and line choice will increase too. Choose lines that are challenging, but have safe areas if you fall. The goal is to have as much fun and challenge as possible, but we all want to ski another day, so use your head. Skiing with a helmet is highly recommended, and it's a good idea to regularly check your equipment to ensure that it's working properly. Equipment failure can ruin a good day, and it's extremely dangerous in some situations. When skiing off-piste, make sure you have the right tools and the skills to use them. An avalanche transceiver, a shovel, warm clothes, food and water are the essentials, even if you're leaving from the boundary gates of your own ski area. Plan your route and inform other people of your whereabouts, even if it's just building a jump off the road somewhere. Go with someone who knows the area if you can, or call the local avalanche hotline for information on conditions outside the control of ski patrol. Backcountry skiing is a huge part of all mountain skiing, but it requires knowledge of snow safety, route choice, and emergency procedures on top of everything we've discussed. Remember, be safe and be prepared. Freeheel skiing is truly an all-mountain sport. With the techniques we've covered and further snow safety knowledge, freeheel skiing can open new worlds of possibilities. The skills and techniques we've covered are meant for you to continue your enjoyment of freeheel skiing and bring a bit of flair to your style. Our goal with this film is to give you the tools to improve. I hope you've enjoyed the film and that you use it and reuse it for years to come. We've covered a heap of information, and it may take quite a few viewings to pull it all together. But remember, it all starts with the basics. Get out, enjoy the winter world, and make the most of your free time. To see more progressive freeheel skiing in action, check out the other films by Unparalleled Productions, and keep in touch on our website at www.upproductions.com.
Don't want to be involved in this one.
Hit the jump, do whatever you want in the air, come down, make sure you're all 4-point landing.
How's it going? Are you doing this?
Here's my favorite tip that I've ever heard.
Oh, that's a good tip.
What am I supposed to say? What do you want yours?
Don't want to be involved in this one.
Should keep your shoulders pointed straight down the hill. Keep your paws out in front.
My name's Stuart Kellermeyer. No, I'm not really a telemark skier, but I do play one on TV.
Right now?
Hold on.
What do I... Ready? And then... I forgot!
Yep.
I am so bad at this!
Hold on. How am I gonna... What's the best way so you can... Look downhill, face downhill. I messed that one up. Perpendicular to the hill. Point them. Check this out. That was not what I...